Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Buy up, buy up. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight to the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I appreciate all the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. So, a killer is on the run, right? Escaped. I see a lot of people doing content on it. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not here to assist the authorities, period. Hey, they have to do their job. There's ways to wiggle. You know, I've never escaped, period. Plain and simple. I just never seen a situation where I thought it was worth it. You know, all you're going to do is stack more charges. But I know a little something about being on the run because I've done it a lot. And right now that guy is on the run. And right now it is an ugly situation. When you're on the run, man, y pobrecito, man. Crimes just stack on top of crimes, and you got crimes giving each other piggyback rides. Well, here's some knowledge you can't get in college. Let's look at how the escape went down. Okay, so a lot of people are thinking that he escaped from a prison transport, but really what he escaped from was a court transport. He was actually going to a hearing because he had picked up a new case while incarcerated. So this man was already locked up on a murder charge out of Linwood, California, right there by Compton, right? So he was already a lifer. He was doing all day, man. He got stretched out. It is what it is. And when you're a lifer, you're going to take extra chances. You know, if you get even a crack in the door, you're breaking that motherfucker open. That's understandable. You know, when your life, even if you put yourself in that situation and your life is gone, it's over. You know, some people would just sit on their hands, you know, like Wes Watson sits on his thumbs and just do whatever they do. But a lot of people, every opportunity they get, their mind is outside on them streets. Especially the lifers, man. They're doing anything and everything they can possible to get out. So what had happened was that this guy picked up possession of a weapon charge. And in this possession of a weapon charge, he was heard, scrapings were heard from his sounds from his cell. They went into his cell. They found him with a piece, right? A pedazo, a prison shank. Upon searching his clothing, they found several bundles of what they say was a black tar substance, black, right? Heroin. And so they snatched him up on, of course, a weapons possession and paraphernalia, right? Dope. And so when I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, okay? And this is just my theory on it, is that they did a court transport. Because that's what happens is if you pick up a case while in prison, you pick up that case out of that county. So that was Kern County. He was locked up in Delano, Kern Valley, right? So he's going to Kern County to court. Now, some of these places that are country, out in the country, and Kern County is pretty spread out. There's a lot of country. It's a rural area. You know, their system is not like it would be in a big city. Their security is subpar. They're not up to par, right? These guys are very relaxed. Some of these officers that they put on this transport, they're used to guys just conforming and going with the flow, going with the motion. So what had happened was he probably went to his first court, realized, oh man, these dudes ain't up to par, period. I'm doubling back, right? The next court appearance, it's not very hard, man. You get you a little cell phone, tuck it, like fuck it, right? Little cuff key. Anyone who's been on a level 4 yard, who's been in a maximum security prison knows how to make a cuff key. They're very easily made. I'm not going to tell you how to make them. If you know, you know. And most people that have done time on 4 yards, I mean, you can make them out of anything, right? So I'm sure he had his little cuff key. When they drove him, right, there was only 2 officers. One that was driving with his the guy riding shotgun. Now the guy riding shotgun is going to immediately come to the back. Sometimes they'll come to the side of the van or the side of the transport and take your leg shackles off. Now in this situation, it doesn't look like he was wearing leg shackles to begin with, which is definitely lacking in security, right? Either that or he used his cuff key that he made to take them off while in transport, which could have happened as well, right? They're not really disclosing exactly what happened. But obviously, from all the video that we're seeing, I'm not going to show you any of the news' video. I don't want to deal with the copyright issues, right? But from what I've seen, he was able to utilize his cuff key to uncuff himself. When the cop went to the back of the van, he kicked it open on him and took off. Now, immediately, the guy that's driving is going to be stunned because he's supposed to hold position. What the fuck is going on here to make sure people aren't coming at him? When he finally realized, oh shit, his partner's already on the ground. My chaise, right? This guy's already half a football field away, gone. unhandcuffed, unshackled. This man's running literally for his life. Now, what happened was the guy came around, started to chase him. Did he have a firearm in his hand? Did he have a taser? I would think proper protocol. Anytime I've been transported several times in prison. They've always had guns, firearms on them, right? So you never know, man. It could be a case where maybe they were lacking. Maybe he did have a taser. Now they're trying to cover up and say this guy was running after him, could have shot at him, but let him go. I mean, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. It was an inside job. I'm here to tell you it wasn't. You can tell just by the looks of it. It was a guy taking the opportunity, and he did that. But now the fun begins, right? Or what I like to say, what isn't fun. The hard part comes. Being on the run. So he made it. He made it. If me, myself, how I would have did it. I had a cell phone. As soon as I bend the corner, I would have called someone like, hey, this is the area I'm going to be running to. This is where you need to be. Boom. Hop in the car. Let's go to Mex, right? I'm gone. Take me as far away from the cops as you can. Now, of course, they got an all-point bulletin. This has now become national news. He's a convicted killer on the run. They're not going to stop. They're going to be relentless. This guy's going to have every authority figure in the world looking for him. Okay? Even if, say, he went to Mexico, which a lot of people are speculating he went to, right? There's an extradition treaty there. So if he's caught in Mexico, they're going to send him back. They're going to drop him off on the frontera, right on the border, and the officers and the marshals, the U.S. Marshals will be waiting for him right there. Dog the bounty hunter is probably looking for him, right? I don't know about Leland, but Dog, did Dog die? I don't know what happened with Dog. I know it was a lady with the big titties passed, rest in peace, right? But this is what I got to say about this. Being on the run is the hard part. Now, I can tell you all about being on the run. And being on the run is probably one of the worst things you'll ever experience, especially when you're looking at prison time, because you have this mentality that you're invincible. You just don't give a fuck. And you don't realize the more things you're involving yourself in, the more charges are stacking. It's like you build a shell around yourself and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm already going to prison. I might as well get mines. You know, and you need money. You need to eat. You need opportunities, right? So you start to do whatever you can do to make those opportunities happen. It's like you get an extra heart. You grow extra courage. Things that you necessarily wouldn't involve yourself in or do, you're willing to do, right? That's why a lot of people that go on the run, they start committing murders. They start doing home invasions. They start stealing more vehicles. You know, they're going to do anything and everything to stay out the way, when in the end, all you're doing is accumulating more moose tracks by fucking doing more crime. You know, you're doing crime over here and crime over there. And these detectives, you're involved in a lot of different law enforcement agencies. You're already being sought after. And now they're starting to link shit together. Well, this motherfucker, that's how they follow your tracks. You know, when I went on the run to Mexico, me and the homie, it wasn't like this situation. We didn't have the whole world looking for us, but we definitely had Merced County sheriffs looking for us and the officers. Front page of the newspaper. And I was wiggling at first. I was in Oxnard hiding out, and then I was wiggling back and forth to Merced. And this is when you find out who your friends are. Real life. Especially if you're a gang member. This is where you find out if your camaradas are your camaradas. If your homies are your homies. If all these chicks that you knock that let you stay at their house when you're beating it up from the feeting it up, right? If they're definitely the ones to look out for you. And you'll realize, most of you will realize, they don't give a fuck about you. The same ones that'll make you laugh will make you cry, right? Me, I was smart enough to understand this, having been on the run several times. But I remember this one particular time, and I'm talking about when me and the homeboy went to Juarez, Mexico, and I ate tacos de perro, right? It even becomes a point, it's hard to be on the run with someone else because you guys start to argue. One person wants to do it one way, you want to do it. If you're not on the same page, reading the same book, it's going to get ugly fast, right? And then the blame game starts. Oh, we got busted because of you. And it could end the whole friendship. You know, it could get someone fucking dicked up or fucked up bad. Let me explain to you. So when I was on the run at first, I did it solo. I didn't trust no one. You know, bam. My homie said, hey, you guys are on the front page of the newspaper. I told the homies, hey, I'm going to go to the store, grab a pistol. I disappeared on everyone. Fuck that. I'm gone because I didn't know who I could trust. Because every time I went back to the town, I would dip in. I was riding the Amtrak. I was riding the Greyhound, right? Every time I'd get back or catching rides from people, I would be at a homie spot. Like I'd walk in, boom, be there for like a minute. Cops bending corners, right? I'd be gone, hitting fences. So that made me believe, and I understood, and I was right. My own homies and homegirls and shit were calling the cops on me. They were trying to get me out of the way. I was knocking on homies' doors like, hey, bro, I need a fucking jacket, bro. It's cold out here. Hey, bro, my old lady's tripping. They'll shut the door. My old lady's tripping, bro. She don't want you here. Motherfucker, I don't care about your old lady. I said I need a jacket, homie. You know what I mean? What about that time you stayed at my house for like a month, bro, when you and your old lady were tripping? But that was different. All right, cool. What's different now is our relationship. When I get out of prison, I'm stabbing you. That's what's different, right? So many times I got turned away at the door. I did have righteous homies that would give me a place to sleep. Man, I slept in sheds. I slept in a fucking abandoned pool under a tarp. I slept in a lot of different places. And what happens is you start to take more penitentiary chances. So that's what this guy's going through right now. I'm sure. Now, I don't know his exact location. I would never give it up if I knew, right? That's on the authorities to figure it out. But wherever he's at, it becomes old after a while. When you're on the run, you can't work. So money, the only way to get money is illegal. Okay, or unless you have a chick or someone paying like they weigh. But what happens if you got a chick? Let me explain to you, because I had one. She was buying me Greyhound tickets. She was buying me Amtrak tickets. But eventually, she had homegirls and primas all in her ear, cousins, right? Why are you fooling with that dude? What can he do for you? And I have even had this chick going out when I was in Arizona for a while. She was going out to Arizona. Went on Valentine's Day, brought me all kinds of flowers and chocolates. I guess Snickers bars never hit so good, right? Also, I could give her the palo. She rode a Greyhound for like 19 hours to get all the way out there. I gave her the palo for like an hour. I ain't even fronting, like a half hour. And she was back, dropped her ass off at the Greyhound, right? But the whole fact of the matter is that eventually she got tired of it. And her homegirls were like, hey, you know what I mean? They were all, you're going to lose your kids, fucking with this guy, this, and that. And so she got in on the fucking tournament club, right? Next thing you know, the mean girls in the tournament clubs, they were all on me. And I knew this though. See, one thing about me is I was already up to par on knowing how to be on the run. So anyways, let's double back. I'm going back and forth to the homie's house. Eventually, I end up back at the house with the homeboy that told me in Oxnard, hey, you guys are, you know, on the front page of the newspaper. And mine was just an assault. I wasn't facing life, but I was facing several years in prison. And I wasn't trying to give up the ghost yet. But I was getting tired, right? And I went from staying with the chick out there in Oxnard, you know, and getting into it out there. Like, man, this is ugly. You know, I was surrounded by the enemigo. You know, here I am, a northerner at the time active, in Colonia Chiques. Facts. I had to get the fuck up out of there. 805 was going to tear my ass up. And then I end up back in Merced, and my grandmother had just passed. I remember they were having a funeral, and I'm on the run. I wanted to go. This is my fucking grandma, my dad's mom, right? And my primos called me. They're like, hey, fool, don't come to the funeral. There's hella feds, hella cops looking for you here. And I was like, for real? He said, they jammed us up. Don't come, fool, right? So I smashed that phone. Got to give me a new burner. And all these things cost money. These burner phones. You see in the movies, fools are... It ain't like fucking, my name's John Wick, right? I ain't got shit. Didn't have no money. I was depending on other people, this chick, to look out for me. 50 here, 50 there. Calling my jefita, can I get 100 Western Union? The whole time I'm using my name. So I'm leaving them, like I said, moose tracks, right? And I'm becoming bitter with my friends, with my family, and it's all on me. All I had to do was turn myself in and do a little tiempo, but here I am, Mr. Billy Badass, right? And this is what this guy's going through. This is why I'm telling you the stories. Different twist, right? And so what happened was I go back to the homie's house, and my homeboy, one of my close homeboys, still to this day, right? He's like, hey, bro, fuck, let me roll with you. So fuck it. We end up in fucking Arizona, out there chilling. That's when the chicks come out there with us. Then we end up in El Paso, Texas. We cross over to Mex to my grandfather's pad, and that's, you know, where that goes. I've told that story before. We get back. See, I've never continued that story. We get back, and I'm already disgruntled. I already don't want to be around the homie no more. We're bumping heads. We're not seeing eye to eye. His version of being on the run is he wants to go kick it with his chick every night and then come back to the safe house. Now, one of his theos at the time had got us the safe house. So I'm like, bro, you're fucking damn near staying with all these chicks that you got. Why don't you just stay out there, bro, in the cuts? They live in the cuts anyways. You know, I'm trying to stay undercover. I'm the one, hey, I'm going to take the case. See, my whole idea was we had caught the case together. I was going to take it, though. I told him, I got you, bro. I'm going to take the case. I'm going to go sit down, bro. You could just go fucking chill, you know? Basically, I was trying to get rid of him. Like, bro, you're bringing too much heat. You got chicks banging on the door at the safe house at night. And he's like, nah, but my deal won't let you just stay here alone. I said, what kind of J-Cat shit is that, bro? Fuck him and you. You know what I mean? I was getting pissed. And I just wanted to shake the homie like, man, I just want to go on the run by myself. Because it's hard when there's two people. Like I said, you guys don't agree all the time. Now there's two mouths to feed. Yeah, I had chicks and people that were sending me money. He had people that were looking out for him. Motherfucker didn't want to share. You know what I mean? So Sasuke, I want to sopa too, right? Hook me up one time. Motherfucker, on norte, right? The fool didn't want to look out for me. And it was vice versa. I feel his pain, but I still took the case. Anyways, ultimately what happens when you're on the run, and this is what old boy's going to go through. You know, it's already day 4, day 5. They're looking for him. Believe me, they're on his tracks. Facts. How long will he last? I don't know. Some people, you know, they could disappear. They could do the disappearing act. Some don't, you know. But one thing I know for sure is it's cold out there in them streets. It's wintertime, right? It's a different element, you know, and your peoples, your families, your friends that you think are, especially your homies from your neighborhood, they ain't all that. They ain't all that at all. They don't want them issues. They don't want cops and marshals banging at their door looking for you, upsetting their family life, right? You'll notice a lot of homeboys, and they do that in their barrio. Yeah, they'll be right there at the kick it spots and chilling, but they never bring shit, you know, to where they sleep. They ain't never bringing no one to where they sleep. Hey, bro, this is my old lady and kids are at, homie. You know what I mean? Respect it, homie, respect it. But they're all up in your shit, chilling, right? When you're on the run, you better respect it. That same thing goes for when we're out there with you. Don't go to their house because, motherfucker, that's where the old lady and their kids are at. And you got to respect it. But when you don't have nowhere else to go, it's like, bro, I thought you were supposed to look out for me. So I didn't read that in the fucking Norteño Come Up handbook, right? It's just how it is. You know, but then you will have some real righteous homies that'll give you a ride, you know, but they don't want to catch that aiding and abetting charge. How do I know I've caught one? Riding around with a homeboy with warrants, dipping here and there. Next thing you know, they're snatching us both up. Got me for aiding and abetting a fugitive on the run. You know, I just did a little 30 days, slap on the wrist, and I did it pushing. Activos. That's what it was. I knew enough to understand that, hey, I got to look out for the homies. But when it came crunch time in my end, didn't no one look out for me. True stories, right? Nobody. I give respect to the homeboy for riding with me for a while, but eventually, I'll tell you how that ended. So, this guy is definitely going to get tired. And what happened was I got tired the last time I was on the run. You become frustrated, you know, you get tired of catching all these new charges because like I said, once you are on the run, you don't give a fuck no more. You're doing more and more crime and more crime. And with someone like this who's a convicted killer who already knows that he's doing life in prison, he's not really worried about all the new charges he can catch. What's the difference? What are they going to do? They shut down death row. He ain't going to catch the death penalty, right? What's the most they could do to him? Nada. So that makes this guy a dangerous situation because if he was willing to assault police officers on the way to escaping, he's willing to do whatever it takes, right? So I can understand apprehension and concern in the community, but best believe he is not in his community. Now, I always wondered about escaping. I always thought about it, right? What would I do? You know, everyone expects if you're Mexican or a raza, first thing you're going to do is run to Mexico. That's what everyone thinks. Like Mexico, you can hide out in Mexico better than you can fucking in Merced or Modesto, right? Why? What's the difference? The cops out there, they're snatching everything up that they notice is different. So you got a lot of little pueblos, a lot of little cities in Mex, especially in the Juarez area, right? See that Juarez where I was at? The placas were on us. We got pulled over a gang of times. They recognized us. You got this ain't from around here. All those tacas, the way you look, like the way you dress, we're all flamed up. Like they recognized us. You know, they didn't give a fuck. Little feria, it was all good. But eventually, man, you run into the wrong person, you're caught up. So Mexico ain't always a safe haven for Mexicans, right? The best thing to do is you go to a bumfuck Egypt country town where they don't care. No one cares about no one else's business. Everyone just minds their own or their own reminds them. And the knowledge you can't get in college is this. You'll probably be safer there. But at the end of the day, we don't think that way. We're not wired to think that way. You know, in the Mexican community, the first thing we think is, I got to make it to my people. But them people ain't your people. Them people are the ones that are going to turn you in, people. All right? Straight up. So I remember like I said, when I was on the run, I became tired. Unusually tired. Like, man, I just don't want to do this anymore. You know, I don't even mind going to prison at this point, but I'm going to go on my terms. I'm not going to turn myself in. I'm going to make these motherfuckers catch me, right? And sure enough, they caught me. I went home. I went to that chick's house, and she was looking all like confuzzled. Like, what are you doing here? Man, you said, give me a mamon, first of all, before we even talk. You know what I mean? I asked you for $50 last week, and you told me you didn't have it. I'm going to take it out in mamon. So, bam, she hooked your boy up, made me some food. Now, meanwhile, I'm on the front page of the newspaper at this time, all point bulletins. They want me for an assault, right? It is what it is. Hey, I'm sitting there smoking frajos, trying to fucking get at fucking certain people. Hey, I need feria, homie. You know what I mean? I got this for sale. I'm looking at what the chick has. That TV's got to go, right? Just doing what I can because I need to. Now I'm not even thinking about being on the run anymore. I gave up. I'm thinking about having money on my books, securing money on my books. I'm calling in all markers, right? And homies are driving by, just drop me off bread or whatever. Damn, fool, you acting like you're just a free man. I said, I am for right now. Next morning, get up, right? Oh, shit. They snatched me. They snatched me up, made a big old deal out of it, said that, oh, we had Dog the Bounty Hunter. Look, you didn't, I'd have beat his ass. Stop it, right? And they snatched me up, and that was it. I ended up catching a prison term. 4 measly ass years. If they would have knew about a whole bunch of other shit, I'd be doing 4 times that, right? But the fact of the matter is, this guy right here, he's in a different element, different situation, because he is a convicted killer. He is someone that is willing to take the risk. And I don't think they should be focused on how or who helped them or what happened. The focus now should be on catch him if you can. Where's Waldo, right? Again, man, they put out rewards and all that and concerned citizens. And I understand, man, if he's from your community, but he ain't there no more. That about to got on down the road. He took his chance. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't, when you're in life or in prison, take your chance? He's seen a breakdown in the system. I know they're trying to elaborate on what was the security not up to par. Of course it wasn't up to par. It's different on medical transports. It's different on court transports. It's different on prison transport. If it was a prison transfer, prison to prison, his ass wouldn't have went nowhere. There's usually 4 or 5 placas. There's placas at the gates when you come out. You put your knees on the fucking on the steps. They unshackle you. You stand right there. You got you chained to another vault. You know what I mean? You ain't going nowhere. So it definitely wasn't a prison to prison transport like they're saying. It was actually, he was going to court because he got caught with a piece. That's the truth. With that being said, just a little something to put a twist on it, man. True stories right there. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. The gun.